So when it comes to cutting tools for your drywall, you really have three basic options. One is the knife, the standard. And when you're cutting drywall with the knife, really simple. You want to just use the tip of the knife, cut the paper. It's just really delicate. You don't have to dig all the way in. If you get past the paper, you're going to be cutting into that powder. It'll dull your blade so fast, and then it's dangerous because a dull knife is the one that's going to cut you. The other cutting tool I like to use is the Rotozip. Mine has a little bit bigger nut on it here, so my bit is wider than usual. I just turned it on. I should mention, the reason this wall is up already is because we had spray foam in this building, so we wanted to cover that up for fire safety sake. So we have a window here. I'm just going to cut the majority of this window out and demonstrate how this tool operates. Now it makes a little bit of dust. It has a nasty screeching sound, so people who don't like that nails on the chalkboard might bother you. There we go, daylight. This tool is incredibly effective around plug boxes because you can stick it in, run into the box, jump the other side, and then just follow the contour. Always use this tool counterclockwise, and then you'll have great success. Now if you don't have a Rotozip, the only other option is good old sweat, blood, and tears using one of these little drywall saws. These can be real effective. The teeth are going two different directions, so be careful. If you cut yourself with this, you cannot stitch yourself back together. It'll be a nasty mess, and it'll take weeks to heal. So before you start your drywall installation, the basic process is your ceiling first, then the walls. There's no real science to it other than the fact that when you're doing your joints, if the wall board is pushed up into the ceiling, it closes up the gap. It gets rid of all of those little errors that you have with the rooms being unsquare when you're cutting the wall. So you can have a little gap around the outside of the room. It'll cover with the walls, panels afterwards. It's not really supporting anything. You are screwing it to the ceiling after all. So what we want to do is inspect your ceiling before you close. You're looking for a few major things. One, let's go right up to the ceiling here, Matt. One, your heat runs. Is there insulation between your wires and your heat runs? This is brutally important. In our region, we have it in our electrical code that there must be insulation between the wire and heat sources as to not overheat the wires and cause fire. Secondly, make notes of where your light fixtures are, your smoke alarms, your heat runs. These are all things that you want to make sure that you take care of before you get started, because we can use our Rotozip tool to cut around the boxes and all that sort of thing, but only once the fixtures are removed. So this light is in the way. Really simple. We know the power's off to this. All we gotta do is just back off the screws. And you could use a knife or a screwdriver. Sometimes I'll just cut the wires because there's lots of length here, and I know an electrician can wire this back up again for me, no problem. All right. So we're just gonna pull that loose, and we're gonna pull this loose. All right, always wrap these things up before you put them back in the box, just in case somebody hits that light switch by accident. Okay, so what we have here is an interconnected smoke alarm, CO2 alarm. You can tell it's interconnected because it has a ton of wires coming in and out of this bad boy. As soon as I take this off, it's gonna start making a horrible noise. So we're gonna wait until we're right ready to put the drywall up, just so we don't lose our sanity. So I'm just inspecting the ceiling, and I see I got a couple of nails sticking down. This isn't exactly a hammer, but it'll do the job. Okay, and we're missing one piece of strapping on the outside. So before we put up our ceiling, we've got to make sure we have strapping. The same we want wood every 16 inches on a wall. You want to have your strapping on your ceiling about the same. Now, it's very narrow, it's 1x3 is what I'm using. So usually when you're strapping, if you screw the middle, the strapping will dry out and twist a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to put 2 screws in, just to make sure you're getting both sides, so that twisting motion doesn't happen. And I'll alternate that every other strapping. Just go in the middle for simplicity. Because we install our drywall contrary to the strapping, we're not concerned about whether it's perfectly on 16. Some guys I see, they try to make sure that their wood is perfectly centered so they can install their wood and on the joint. That's a lot of extra work. If you just measure off your room and put your drywall the opposite direction, it goes up a lot faster. So here's a rental tip for you. When you're screwing near the end of a piece of spruce like this, it's really thin. start your bit, put the drill on reverse, and push. And see, you see smoke. Did you see that, Max? When you see smoke, you've cauterized that wound. If you just drive a screw in a piece of strapping like this, it'll split on you. Now we're done, we're ready to install our drywall. Only thing left to do now is carry it down here from the truck. So let's go get our 10-foot sheet. No time to waste, time is money. That's a little treacherous. Max has got the camera rolling so that when we wipe out, not if, he has it on film. So the system here, when you're putting up a ceiling, you need to remember that you're going to have a 1/2-inch drywall on either side coming up. So you've got lots of room there for variance. So instead of worrying about if the room is square or not, what we're going to do is we're going to take the actual measurement, take a 1/2 inch off, and then when we install, we'll try to split the difference in the gap and put a 1/4 inch on each side. So our actual measurement is 118 3/4. So we'll install it 118 1/4. That's a 10-foot sheet of drywall. Well, let's go get that cut. If you're enjoying these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, but most importantly, comment on the videos by all means, or a suggestion of video you'd like to see, let us know. We'd love to be in touch.